Have you ever really thought about what stands between your biggest dreams and your actual reality? What's that one thing that separates where you are right now from where you desperately want to be? Well, there's a bridge. And in this explainer, we're going to build it, one solid, disciplined step at a time. So let's get started.
Just think about it for a second. Picture the people you really admire, the ones who seem to crush every goal they set for themselves. A lot of them, and I mean a lot, started with absolutely nothing. No money, no fancy connections, sometimes not even a great education. So what's their secret sauce? What do they know that maybe you don't? I promise you, it has nothing to do with luck.
That's it. Seriously, that's the secret. The single biggest difference isn't their talent or their resources, it's their mindset. It all comes down to a simple choice they make every single day. They choose to stop making excuses and start taking action. And the one tool they use to do that, the engine that powers all their success, is self-discipline.
Okay, let's get one thing straight about what self-discipline really is. It is not about punishing yourself or being super restrictive and miserable. Think of it more like a skill. It's the master key that unlocks your ability to actually follow through on your plans, no matter what your mood is, whether you're motivated that day or, just really don't feel like it. So let's dive into this gap between making excuses and finding success. Because really, that's where the magic happens. Every single great success story you've ever heard is built on the very same foundation, the discipline to close that gap between who you are today and who you know you could be. It's about systematically getting rid of all those excuses that are holding you back. And you have to understand this. Success is not an accident. It's not a lottery ticket. It is the direct result of your actions. It all begins when you're brave enough to take a truly honest look at your life and accept a simple law of the universe. What you put in is what you get out. When you sow disciplined habits, you eventually reap success. And yeah, that means committing to pay the price, getting out of your comfort zone, and never, ever stopping learning. So, how do we actually build this discipline? Where do we even start? Well, the absolute first step, the bedrock for everything else we're going to talk about, is taking 100% responsibility for your life. No excuses, no blaming, no ifs, ands, or buts. This image just says it all, doesn't it? You are holding the blueprints. You're the architect. The author Brian Tracy, who wrote No Excuses, had this huge light bulb moment when he was just a 21-year-old construction worker. He was sitting in a tiny apartment one cold night, and it just hit him like a ton of bricks. If he didn't change, nothing in his life was going to change. And from that day forward, he took total ownership, and you have that exact same power. And just look at the difference here. It's night and day. On one side, you've got the whole excuse mindset, blaming other people, being stuck in the past, constantly looking at what everyone else is doing. It's a total cycle of powerlessness. But on the other side, that's responsibility. That's taking control, looking for solutions, and keeping your eyes on the future you want to build. One keeps you trapped, the other sets you free. So, right here, right now, here are 3 chains you need to break. First, stop blaming anyone, your boss, your parents, the government, for your situation. It's your life. Second, stop complaining. All it does is drag you down and relive the negativity, and it solves absolutely nothing. And third, and this is a big one, stop comparing your journey to someone else's. Your path is your own. Comparison is just a distraction. All right, so you've taken full responsibility. Awesome. Now what? Now we turn that powerful mindset into a concrete plan. This is the part where we stop vaguely wishing for things and start creating crystal clear, totally achievable goals. A lot of people mix up dreams and goals, but they're totally different things. Dreams are fantastic. They're the spark, the imagination. But a goal is a dream with a plan and a deadline. It's the difference between saying, man, I wish I had more money, and saying, I will earn X amount of dollars by this specific date by doing these specific things. See the difference? One is just passive wishing. The other is active pursuit. And if you're skeptical about the simple power of just writing stuff down, listen to this story. Brian Tracy talks about a salesman named John who was earning about $50,000 a year. He started this one simple habit. Every day, he wrote down his goals and made a little plan. Fast forward 12 years, he was the president of his company, earning over $1 million a year. The only thing that really changed was his disciplined approach. It's that powerful. And here is the exact system you can use, starting today. 1. Decide exactly what you want. Be super specific. 2. Write it down on a piece of paper. This makes it feel real. 3. Set a deadline.
This creates a sense of urgency. 4. Make a list of every single thing you can think of that you'll have to do to get there. 5. Organize that list into a plan and then, and this is key, take action on it immediately. And finally, number 6, the most important step of all, do something, anything, every single day that moves you even 1 inch closer to your goal.
So how do you manage all those daily actions without getting overwhelmed? Use this simple trick, the ABCD method. Your A tasks are your absolute must-dos, the big rocks. B tasks are things you should do, but they're less critical. C's are things that would be nice to do, but honestly, no biggie if you don't. D is for delegate, and E is for eliminate. But here's the ironclad rule. You never, ever work on a B task when you still have an A task left undone. Period.
And while you're at it, always keep the 80-20 rule in the back of your mind. It's also called the Pareto principle, and it basically says that 20% of the things you do will give you 80% of your results. Your job is to figure out what that critical 20% is. Those are your A tasks, and then focus most of your disciplined energy right there. Okay, so we've talked a lot about success, goals, and achievement. But what's the real end game here? What's the ultimate payoff for all this hard work and discipline? It's not just about what you get on the outside, it's about who you become on the inside. The real prize, the grand prize, is happiness and a genuine, unshakable peace of mind. And here it is. This is the big payoff. Real happiness isn't something that just randomly happens to you. It's the direct result of feeling like you are in the driver's seat of your own life. When you use self-discipline to make your daily actions line up with your deepest values, you create this profound sense of personal power and satisfaction, and that is true happiness. And this chart breaks down the key areas where that control really matters. True happiness is built on these 5 pillars: your health and energy, your relationships, doing meaningful work, having financial freedom, and finally, self-actualization, that amazing feeling that you are becoming everything you're capable of becoming. And guess what? Every single one of them requires daily discipline to build up and to maintain. But what about protecting your inner world, your peace? Well, for that, you have to discipline your thoughts. Learn to separate your emotional reaction from the thing that actually happened. Refuse to give other people power over how you feel by blaming them. Forgive people. And listen, this isn't for them. It's for you. Forgiveness frees you from that heavy burden of anger. And finally, you have to let go of the past. You can't change it, so don't let it poison your present. And you know, this all brings us to the ultimate choice we face every day. The truth is, both paths involve some kind of pain. Doing the hard thing, making that sales call, going to the gym when you're tired, that's the pain of discipline. It's temporary, it's productive, and it feels good afterward. But not doing it, that leads to the pain of regret, that heavy, crushing weight of what if. The choice isn't between pain and ease, it's between which kind of pain you'd rather carry. So I'm going to leave you with that one simple question: the weight of an ounce or the weight of a ton? The choice that you make right now, in this moment, and in every moment that follows, well, that's what will determine the entire story of your life. So which one is it going to be?